True fans live for their team. For those true U of A fans, there is Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, a unique road trip this week. Arizona's basketball team goes to Stanford and then Cal. Two teams that I think are kind of polar opposites of each other in terms of ability. This has been a road trip that has not traditionally treated Arizona well. It looks like another really tough challenge this week.
You know, I think I've gone to 30 of these Cal-Stanford basketball road trips, and every time going up there, I'm thinking the same thing. Man, if you split this trip, you've really done well. It is so hard to play in those two little gyms. I call them gyms. They are gyms.
They are gyms.
That, you know, in 1997, when Arizona won the national title, the last two games of the regular season, they lost at Cal and Stanford by 1 point, last possession games. And you knew you were good just to hang in like that.
Well, it's funny with Stanford. Let's talk about Stanford first. This is not a team that jumps off the page at you.
No.
This is not a team that when you're watching television, you necessarily want to keep watching if you have your remote on you.
Exactly.
But where they play, the crowd there, and you know that they have kind of the mental acuity to handle this. You know they're not going to be scared.
No.
In a way, I mean, to me, that's the wild card in all this. You know, with Cal, it's good versus good.
Yeah.
With Arizona and Stanford, I mean, to me, it's a tricky game.
It's, you know, on paper, they probably have the least imposing players in the league. In fact, clearly so, I think. I think I would take Washington State's players.
Possible.
But I watched them last week when they beat Stanford at Maples.
Or they beat Cal at Maples. Yeah.
They had only 5,000 fans. They had 2,000 empty seats for that game. So I'm thinking this week they'll have 2,000 empty seats.
If that's the case, their biggest advantage there, which is tiny gym, crazy fans, you can't hear yourself think, that goes away.
Sean Miller said today they make you foul them more than any team in the league. And that's why they hang in there.
Right.
They make you foul them. They don't make mistakes.
Right. To me, Cal is going to try to, or Stanford is going to try to ugly up the game as much as possible. Cal, on the other hand, super compelling matchup. They have great athletes, a lot of them young. Quanzo Martin has recruited his tail off. I mean, it's hard. I'm not sure they're more athletic than Arizona, but they're in the conversation.
You know, they're 11-0 at home.
Right.
They've lost 6 road games. But what I'm looking to the most, I want to stand next to Quanzo Martin when he talks. He's got the single best voice in America. He could make more than millions a year doing voiceovers.
Does he have a better voice than Frank Martin, our friend from Kansas State, now at South Carolina?
Listen to him. He's so good. I'd like to hear him sing. He could probably he could sell millions of records.
What's the big matchup there? Is it going to be front court versus front court, do you think?
I actually think it's their 3 snipers. Matthews, Wallace, and Jabari Bird, who's hit and miss. If one of those guys is on, you're going to really have a hard time beating them. I think Arizona has a big edge up front.
Arizona learned a couple years ago you cannot take Cal for granted, especially on the road. Lest we forget, a guy by the name of Alan Crabb. Remember that shot?
Yeah, deep corner.
Deep corner. Well, it should be a compelling week of Pac-12 basketball. Arizona carrying a 49-game home winning streak. Counts for nothing when you go on the road. 2 big matchups against Stanford and Cal. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, where do you stay?
I stay at the Marriott Courtyard because they have like free stuff.
Free stuff? Breakfast?
No, they don't. But
do you prefer being closer to Cal or to Stanford?
Well, I'd prefer to be closer to Stanford, but the hotel rooms are $349 a night.
Ooh.
This week.
Ooh. Man. Yeah, not good.
No.
Not good. I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.